I'm gonna try to beat Skyrim with only loot that I get out of Helgen KEEP. This is what happened. In no universe should you use these weapons all the way to the final confrontation with Alduin. Well, except for in this universe, that's what we do. Anyway, the rules are simple. We can only use gear from Helgen KEEP. We can't power level. We can't buy any items or anything that could help us with the run. And the difficulty has to stay set on expert, because I am one. I've never made a challenge video before, and I've never made a video with this much pre-recorded footage, let alone a fully scripted video. So if you have any constructive criticism or anything that you think that I should keep in future challenge runs, please let me know. I would really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into this absolute grind of a challenge with what better race than a true son of daughter of Skyrim. Helga the Loyal, and she is loyal. She's so loyal that she refuses to part ways with her lovely iron swords and Imperial Commander armor that she peeled off of a freshly defeated jerkface from the chopping block.
Forget the list. She goes to the block.
I bet she wishes she was a little nicer. Anyway, there are some notable pieces that we can get from here in Helgen. We really have every kind of weapon, including a spell tome for the spell of sparks. We even have both light and heavy armor and novice mage robes, so we can make any build that we want. While our options are plentiful, when it comes to armor and weapons, keep in mind the damage and protection from these pieces of gear are still very bad and not meant for the wider world of Skyrim. And with that takes us to the end of Helgen KEEP and out into the world. Ralof wants us to follow him, but I think it would be a lot cooler if we went to Embershard Mine. Walking out of Helgen KEEP, I feel like it's completely fine and necessary to do Embershard Mine because I feel like in my heart that it's part of the main quest. There's no real benefit to doing this as we can't loot, but it's minimal difficulty, there's no real boss, and it doesn't really hurt anything. With Embershard Mine done, however, and a firm grasp on what to do next, as all seasoned Skyrim players know, you always go to Bleak Falls before you head to Whiterun. It's just what you do. After ganking this wolf and coming across this small bandit outpost along the way, Helga gives no care to the feelings of the random inbred bandits, so we destroy them all and shuffle on to the most iconic dungeon in Skyrim. A dungeon so iconic that I'm sure about 95% of the population have played through this specific portion of the game. However, as we climb the stairs to enter this ancient Nordic tomb, the greeting party comes out and realizes that Helga has a Trump sticker and the latest Kanye West album. So they politely ask me to leave. LOL JK, except for none of that happened. We killed every single one of them. So we delve into Bleak Falls, and we see our first hint that maybe there's more than humans in this place. I just hope it's not a spider. Ah, a spider. Well, we deal with the spider quickly and cheesily, we discombobulate it, and help its once victim, Arvel the Swift. Just kidding, we kill him. Well, I should probably steal this giant claw in his pockets. We move on, and this is where the first Draugr come into the game. Hope they don't get old. As we continue through the Dark Drops dungeon and we get stopped by this ornate door out of nowhere, I wonder where we could find a way through this door. Just hit all three of them twice. As we walk up to the big bad of this dungeon, I'm kind of nervous, honestly, because I think we're 100% going to get spanked by this overlord. But then Helga comes through again. Maybe this challenge isn't going to be so hard after all. We steal the Dragonstone tablet and make it out of Bleak Falls with our first boss and 0 deaths. So naturally, after we get through the bleakest of falls, we head to the best city in all the land. Don't at me. So we make it over the hill and down through the plains of Whiterun up to the city gate, only to be told that the city's closed. What is this, a 9-to-5 bakery? Well, little do they know, Helga is a master persuader. And with one sentence, we're in. Once we get to Dragon's Reach after visiting the town folk, we have to go talk to the President of the United States of Whiterun, who explains something about needing some work done and, a puffed up ignorant, and then tells us that his court wizard is incredibly impressed with our prowess and wants us to go do something Something involving a dragonstone. Man, I've never seen one of those before. Wait, do you mean this dragonstone? Couldn't be this dragonstone. Man, I am shocked. Can you believe it? I can. And this is a nasty shock to Balgruuf, who is in the middle of sprinting up the stairs where his game script needs him to be. LOL. It is now when we get the news that a dragon has attacked the Western Watchtower, and honestly they couldn't think of a better candidate, the manliest man in the room, Helge. So we're off to the Western Watchtower in hopes to slay a dragon and beat the game. After all, that's all we have to do to beat the game, right? As it happens, the Western Watchtower is much closer than I remember it being as a child. I literally remember this being halfway across the map, and it's literally only about 30 seconds of walking. And we get here, and nothing's here. Seems like everything's in order to... Oh my gosh, the dragon! After a long, hard 2-minute or 3-minute heated battle and political debate, we finally are able to fell this dragon. Okay, something's going on. I really thought this dragon was going to kill us, but for the time being, we're still deathless. Time to return to Whiterun. We get here, and the Greybeards start hollering at us from some far-off place, and we head back to Ballin Manor, aka Dragon's Reach. We talk to the Jarl, and he hits on us and tells us that we're the greatest thing ever, and that we need to visit the Greybeards. There are a couple of roadblocks in this section that I'm sure you're all waiting for, but we'll get to that later. So we begin this journey to Iverstead during a stream, so be sure to stop by on Tuesdays and Saturdays around 6 p.m. EST for a good time. Shameless plugs out of the way, however, the Run Killer, the Ice Troll, I'm sure that this guy could take literally a couple of attempts on normal runs, let alone when you're using a long bow and an iron sword. So we had to resort to using the flame spell, because we simply weren't doing enough damage. But technically, this isn't against the rules because every character spawns in with the flame spell. So after about 15 to 20 attempts, we finally killed the Ice Troll. Easy peasy. Now, as I'm writing this actually seems like it's probably going to be the hardest challenge in the run. I wonder if I was right. Let's go! Let's go! Anyway, we found this awesome castle on the mountain, and we go inside. The Greybeards, finally, the Greybeards. Oh man, they asked to taste my voice. That is the most zesty thing that anyone's ever said to me. They taste it, and they decide that it's not seasoned properly, so they want me to train with them. Let's use the term train very lightly here, as all we really do is knock over 3 ethereal dummies and go through a door real fast. Training after this, though, Arengir asks us to retrieve the horn of Jurgen Windcaller. I'm sure this is going to be, really close, and it's not going to take too long. Oh, it's halfway across the map. Oh yeah, and it's a new stream. I made this stream more festive than the other one by wearing a Santa Claus hat. I hope it doesn't look stupid. And we're off to Ustengrav. Now, this dungeon wasn't hard aside from the one death that we had, but the fact that this dungeon had no legitimate boss, we got through it rather easily, all things considered. Whew, clutch that one up. Holy cow. It takes me forever. So you walk through these. Whirlwind sprint. Bingo. So we get to the horn, well, the note, and it says they're friends, so let's go to Riverwood. I spot 3 figures off in the distance, every man's worst nightmare, a courier and the 2 cultists. They were both really pushovers, honestly, and were just annoyances. And we met the worst character, the main bad guy in all of Skyrim, even over Alduin, Delphine, our quote-unquote friend. She told us that she didn't trust us, so the most logical thing to do is show us her underground bunker that is secret, and invite us on a life or death mission where if she doesn't trust us, she will be killed by a dragon. Yep, that makes perfect sense, Delphine. The eventual death of this dragon that I'd been hired to kill by Delphine all the way over in Consgrove made me eager to learn more and more about the lore of the world around me. Skip, double skip entirely. Man, I all of a sudden have some random hankering to go to a fancy party. Oh, Delphine, you want me to go to a fancy party? I swear I've seen this somewhere before, like in a past life. Or lives. Delphine sends us to Solitude, aka Imperial Country, where we are supposed to meet up with her correspondent in a bar. I believe his name's Malborn. All you need to know is he's a filthy elf. Malborn asks me to strip naked as soon as I get into the bar to give my clothes safe passage into the embassy, or whatever. Well, fellas, anyway, you heard it here first. Shoddy bad. That's how you get the clothes off of a Nordic woman. So we meet up with Delphine after that, butt naked in the cold, like we haven't already seen too much of Delphine, even though we just met her 2.5 paragraphs ago. She gives us the invite and gives us some rave clothes to go along with it. Then we climb in back and we're off. Oh, yeah, and I did return the horn. Don't worry about that. We arrived to this foreign area and are immediately greeted with slimy looking elf who asked to see my passport, so naturally I cooperate, and boom, we're in. Malborn does seem to be in a different position, though, under the Thalmor's boot, that is. Anyway, we asked the lovely Redguard guest to make a huge distraction right beside the 12, who doesn't seem to care. Anyway, we slip into the back, and we are finally reunited with our sweet Helgen KEEP armor and weapons, baby, yeah. And we begin conflict with the Thalmor agents, and boy, is it a tough one. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter because we killed him. We die a couple of times, however. He didn't even stab me. But more importantly, we grab the Microsoft Word documents about Esbern and Delphine. And we're out of there faster than you can say the 4,500 words that are in this script. Yeah, I hope you guys like the video to help get it out to more and more Sigma males, as I really have put a ton of effort into this one. So we book it past the Frost Troll because we know what happens when we fight those, and we head back to Delphine, who is in Riverwood this entire time. She actually reads the book, however, ... I would never do that with a Skyrim book, and discerns that her partner Esbern, who is horribly paranoid and has locked himself away in a dungeon, is needing to be found. So she sends a complete and total stranger to find him. That makes total sense, Delphine. And so we're off. Now, in the past, I have been rather scared of the Ratway because I feel like it has more dangerous enemies in it. However, we sailed right through the place, and we got to the Ragged Flagon, which is the Thieves Guild hideout, and also the home of the man who stole all of my money just to tell me where some musty old fart is hiding, which is deeper into the Ratway, and he never ever comes out. So I have to go find his sorry hind end and pull him out. So I plunge deeper into this nasty place and find more of my dear friends, the Thalmor, who really didn't take kindly to me destroying all their friends from the home office, so I killed them too. And eventually, I found this door that looked like it belonged in Fort Knox, so you'll never guess who was behind it. That's right, Ulfric Storm... Nah, it was Esbern. And after some sweet talking, he finally let me in and told me that he needed to talk to Delphine. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys here. Man to man, this part doesn't really feel like I need to be involved at all. And it feels like Delphine could have done this quest while I was doing something else. But anyway, we rendezvous with Delphine and Esbern back at the Sleeping Giant Inn, and what do you know? We have yet another mission halfway across Skyrim for no reason, but believe it or not, I finally feel like we're making progress. Alduin's Wall. Now this, seriously, I know I've said it a lot in this video, but this is the point in the challenge where I was super scared to move forward because I always get absolutely destroyed at this location when I was younger. But I had better armor, so my fear wasn't really misplaced. Let me explain. We used Bjorlum to fast travel to Markarth, and that helped me get the brunt of the travel out of the way. And if you follow my path here, which is just the road in game, you can come around this side area of the mountain and avoid the entire area pretty much. Now, something I didn't intend on, however, which this would be super easy without, was a huge blood dragon appearing out of absolutely nowhere and ganking me completely. I can't fight that! And it didn't help anything that I decided to save right before I was about to die. But I was very lucky and I ran from the dragon and managed to get in the entrance right as I was about to die. This is a very easy dungeon, however, so our effort paid off. This dungeon requires very little to no struggle, and there really isn't a boss in it, so no need to worry. The only hard part is when we have to wait forever for Esbern and Delphine to walk up the stupid stairs. Long story long, however, we learned that a group of human dudes a long time ago, or learned or made a shout to kill Alduin, but it didn't kill Alduin. It just sent him back in time, which then he's here now. So I don't really know. It didn't work the first time, so let's try it again. Anyway, what the heck? Let's do it. But Delphine and Esbern, being the most mid-side characters in the Elder Scrolls game, have no idea how to learn it or make it or whatever. So we have to consult the weird perverts who like to taste people's breath. You know who I'm talking about, the Greybeards. So the Greybeards urge me to leave the Blades alone, never to talk to them again because they're power-focused and arrogant. I completely agree, but we're going to need them. Anywho, he wants us to seek out the help of the Greybeards' leader, which his name is Parthenax, i.e. the best boy of all Skyrim. So they teach us the third and final shout to access the actual top of the mountain, which is clear skies. So we go on our merry way up to the top of the mountain and have a nice time, almost dying to the actual hardest mobs in Skyrim, the Ice Wraiths, which almost kill us. Oh man, this is not good. But I hope we never have to come across those again. Spoiler alert, we don't. We finally summit the Throat of the World, however, which is one of the coolest named locations in any video game ever, and we finally see Parthenax, which, as the naming scheme suggests, is in fact a dragon. But he's still Yas Queen's squad goals, as that old meme used to read. So we listened to his rambling for about half an hour on stream. If you haven't guessed by now, I want you to stop by the streams. And he tells us to find an Elder Scroll, so we head to the College of Winterhold, to the hands down best librarian in the entire game, no, in the world. And he gives us 2 books, one of which is insightful and helpful in every way, and the other one is just incoherent nonsense. Well, I guess because I actually didn't read either one of them. This is a video game. We don't read books here. Urag implores us to look for Septimus Cygnus north of the college, in the middle of nowhere, because he is the author of this book and probably knows something about an Elder Scroll or two. The quest for the Elder Scroll can be accomplished by seeking out the help of yet another old dustbag. So we find him in this random yet homely hole/shack in the middle of the Arctic Circle. Now Septimus is odd, but he does help us begin the quest for Elder Knowledge, so I can't really argue. This quest takes us south to a Dwemer ruin called Alftand. It feels as though I have said this about every mild inconvenience in the video, but at a relatively low level, this is a crazy hard dungeon considering the enemies are primarily Thalmor. As we get further and further into the ruin, they become more and more Thalmor, and less Dwemer spotters. Now I'll just be honest, at this point I had contracted rock joint on the journey, which reduces weapon efficiency, and I had to use everything that I had to help me kill these stupid Thalmor. I could not do it on my own. So we used the height to our advantage and blasted them over the edge with unrelenting force, and that worked for almost every Thalmor. All we had to do at this point was to lead them back to the area with the sketchy walkway with no railing and blast them off the side of it. Now don't worry, I will be contacting the safety department about the lack of a railing. So we shim-sham down to the rest of the dungeon and a realization sets in. I have to fight a centurion at the end of this dungeon, and the end is right now. Oh mercy. But I think we may have a strategy for this. So we come up to the centurion, activate him, and we mistime this whirlwind sprint and make haste back to the lever that opened the gate in the first place, close the gate, and boom, he's locked in on the other side of the gate, and we can pelt him full of arrows and shock spell from a safe distance away. And after a few minutes, what would have been impossible becomes mind-numbingly easy. Skyrim is an amazing game with many different things that can take place, many different scenarios that one can forget over time. Since it's literally been years since I did this quest, I did forget about these 2 no-name warriors. Oh wait, they do have names. Would you look at that? And they absolutely destroyed me. So I came prepared this time, and I think that the one who's the deadliest is the blonde-haired guy. So I focus him, get him took care of, save the lady with the 6 shield for second, and it's no sweat, super easy. And then we have to use this random deal to open the door to the stairs to the sanctum, and we go into the inner sanctum where we see this huge open room with some crazy mechanisms. We start to insert the lexicon and then spam the buttons from left to right until the Elder Scroll has been revealed to us. And we've got an Elder Scroll! Let's go, baby! Woo! Hey, baby. And that's one step closer to killing Alduin for real. So we are instructed to read this at the Time Wound to begin a quest called Alduin's Bane. Now, Parthenax is the one who urges us to read this quest, or read this Elder Scroll at the Time Wound, where Alduin was sealed away back in like 1985 or something like that. So naturally, we do it, and we get to see the heroes of old take on Alduin. Or rather, the heroes of old take him on, he ragdolls the girl, and then off-brand Gandalf sends him to Dialga's realm. And then we get sent back to our own time. Oh my gosh, there's Alduin. Holy crap, he's here. And I get about a third of the way through the fight. We've taken about a third of his health, and I realize, after 15 minutes, I still have rock joint. This disease reduces his weapon efficiency by 25%. So naturally, if I did it once, I can do it again. I reload the save to get that taken care of by my boy Heimskir and Talos' shrine. And we're right back at it. And this time, I am for real. So the fight took around 10 minutes this time of constant run smack heal, run slap heal, run hit heal. You get the point at this point. Get it? Point, point, point. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. Yes, we beat him. And every time we beat Alduin's Hanan, and he tells us, guess what? He can't be beaten in this plane of existence.
Well, I just worked really hard for that, Alduin.
So we're back to the freaking drawing board, and we need to talk to my main man with the plan, Arngir. Now, Arngir spills all of the tea about the real purpose of Dragon's Reach, and apparently in the back of the building there is an area to trap and hold a dragon. So immediately we head off in high hopes to seamlessly trap a dragon and follow Alduin to his plane of existence and beat him. Well, shocker, it doesn't go that smoothly. So Balgruuf gives us the crazy idea that instead of trapping the dragon, he will only do it if there's a peace treaty. So we have to organize a truce before he'll let us have a dragon intervention in his backyard. So we ask Arngir if we can host this party for the truce at his house to settle the beef between two rival gangs in Skyrim. We get the green light, and it's off to convince General Tullius to come to the sleepover for the truce. And we obviously have to get the other side that's involved, so we head over to Windhelm and get Ulfric Stormcloak on our side and ready to come to the meeting. So, with everyone on the same page and no one wanting to actually give any ground or lose anything, we have the most intriguing session of family court on this side of Whiterun. So we end up telling the Thalmor jerkface to stuff it, obviously, and the courtroom is in. Now I decided to give the Stormcloaks Markarth, and the Imperials I decided to have them get Riften and obviously get repaid for some war crimes that Ulfric committed. Consider it solved. But most importantly, we get to use Balgruuf's backyard for a dragon intervention, baby. Let's go. So I head to Dragon's Reach and commenced Operation Dragon Intervention. I called the dragon to the stand, and he absolutely obliterated me. That was quick, because I tried to fight him instead of leading him into the trap, like we all planned, but at least I didn't get absolutely obliterated like this poor chap. Play it again. Play it again. So we barely get to the trap with the dragon with a very little bit of health left, just in time to confront him. And honestly, it goes pretty easy. And he vows to abandon his ways of evil, and at least long enough to fly me to the Sovngarde portal. Now, I would be remiss, guys. This is a very important part of the video. I'd be remiss if I didn't urge you to go down to the bottom of the description of every video that I post from here on out and read the verse of the video. It's a little devotional type thing, and I've been doing it for a while now, and I hope that you read it and enjoy it. Anywho, back to the challenge. Heading to Skuldafn. Man, am I serious when I say I haven't done this quest in at least 5 years, and I've had at least 20 to maybe even 25 Skyrim characters since then. But man, I need to make this trip more often, because to be honest, this challenge really has made me appreciate the base quests throughout Skyrim. I know that I complain a ton about some of the fetch quests and some of the annoyance of having to travel so far back and forth, but man, it is nostalgic to say the least to go through all these quests. Oh, and look, we're finally here. And man, is it one big welcoming party. It's almost like Alduin doesn't want us to follow him. I get ambushed by a couple of Draugr and a dragon right off the rip, and my reward for beating them is another dragon and more Draugr. Great. But Helga's a beast and we don't even die. I am crazy proud of Helga at this moment. So I leveled up during that first dragon fight and I used that perk to half the restoration magicka cost for novice level spells. And that made this an absolute cakewalk with this pretty much spell sword-esque build that we've made. I literally took on 5 restless Draugr at once and won. Are we low-key OP? Holy crap, man. Well, there's no such time for foolish sayings. We have to get to the portal to Sovngarde, and there is a ton of people guarding it. There's multiple Draugr all through the area and a dragon priest, and we don't want to fight this dragon priest because we don't even want to give it the chance to kill us. So if we sprint past really fast and use whirlwind sprint at the last moment, boom, we can jump in the portal to Sovngarde. We did it! We did it! We didn't have to fight the dragon priest. Let's go! And here we are in Sovngarde, baby. Oh, that's awesome. And there we go. We got into Sovngarde without having to fight the dragon priest. Heck yeah. Always a dub when we can avoid a boss. But here's Sovngarde, the chosen burial place for Alduin. So as with everything, we walk down the path through the fog, and holy crap, there's Alduin out of nowhere. And we need to get to someplace we can see. So we obviously continue down the path, and we come across a bluff. I was dreading this fight, honestly. The entire run, I was thinking about this man right here. Soon. He is an absolute man, and honestly, I tried a couple of times to fight him honorably, and with valor, the way he wanted me to, and it was clear I was getting nowhere. I mean, I'm getting two-tapped. I'm getting shouted off the walls, man. I'm getting destroyed by Soon. So I did what no one wants to admit, but everyone does. I cheesed the fight. And honestly, I'm not ashamed that I did. Soon is a man, and I'm not. In the game or in real life. So after our honorable fight with Soon, he allows us to cross the bridge and talk to the heroes of old that trapped Alduin. We even get to talk to Ysgramor, which I don't really know the significance. Let me know down in the comment section below. But they honestly talk all at once, incoherently. We can't actually talk. They do the thing where it seems like they're busy, and then they just all run off. Well, I guess it's time to follow them. So this is the quest, Dragon Slayer, the very end of the game. Honestly, I was kind of scared of this fight, but then I thought, pumping every level into health, the half magicka perk that we just got, and a banked level, I'm thinking there's no way we can lose this. But honestly, you never know. So we arbitrarily get out here across the bridge, and we just holler into the void 3 times. And it conveniently, on the very last time, Alduin just happens to be out of gas. Alright, boys, it's time. Live chat enabled. And he has no choice but to fight us and the legendary heroes of old. And boy, is it a fight for the ages. Well, actually, it took 7 minutes, and really wasn't all that hard looking back on it. But during the fight, I was sweating bullets. This is the best run, the most effort I've ever put into a video, all coming to a head in 7 minutes. It doesn't seem like a lot, but for a fight in a video game, it's a pretty long time. And if you look at it, I mean, Goku and Frieza fought for 5 minutes, and that lasted only 19 episodes, 22 minutes long apiece. So we keep the loop of Dragon Rend, smack him, he leaves, we heal, rinse and repeat, until he's finally about to die. And I think I'll let Live Jake speak here. Oh guys, we're so close. We're so close. It looks like we're gonna do it. Holy crap. Let's go. Let's go. Biggest video I've ever made. Let's go. We did it. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. Holy crap, we did it. We killed Alduin with only Helgen KEEP items. What? Let's go. Look at that. Let's go. And look at all that power. Dang. Awesome video. Holy cow. Now, if you don't want to have crappy gear when you beat Skyrim, watch this video right here. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you really like this challenge style video. Don't forget to read your Bibles. Don't forget to like the video to help get it out to more and more people. I really hope you guys appreciate the amount of effort I'm putting into the content as of late. But promise, if you read the Bible, stay true and believe, it'll help. Thank you for your time. Have a blessed day. Peace out.